All right, this is gonna be a little different. I never see myself recording a YouTube video or just even the videos I be doing now. I never see myself posting on TikTok or being any type of content creator. I don't even want to label myself as that. But just to get straight to the point and for some background history, I got saved March 2020. I remember for the first 3 to 5 months of 2020, every single month, it was some catastrophic event happening. I remember things like the Australian wildfires and BLM riots. I know it was more things that happened, but 2020 was just a chaotic year as a whole. And because of that, people were saying Jesus was coming back. And I remember that. And even before that happened, I was slowly starting to draw near to Christ. But people saying Jesus was coming back gave me that push that led me to Jesus. And so that's when I believed in the gospel and I believed that he was coming back soon. Because first, I was a new believer. Second, I looked around in the world. I seen the chaos. I read Revelation. I read everything else that had to do with the return of Jesus. And I believed it. And yeah, so that's that. And then around that same time, or probably later months that year, maybe even the next year, I think the Lord, he either told me to start posting TikTok videos, or he told me that later on in the future I would. And so last year was when I started doing that. Somewhere along the way, from 2020 till these past couple of days, I had stopped believing that Jesus would come back soon. I don't know if it was because the sin that I was in, my unrepentance, just me being spiritually blind, or the lack of chaos in the world. So it seemed like everything was at peace. And now it didn't seem like Jesus was coming back. All of that changed these past couple of days. And now I can see why he is coming back soon. Based off of scripture, I can see the state that this world is in. And I was just living so closed off in my own mind, in my own world, in my ignorance, without really looking at the world. And even reading scripture, like even studying scripture. And so now I do believe that he is coming back soon. I know we in the last days for sure. That's what I believed back then too. Even between those couple years, I believed that we was in the last days. I didn't believe that he was coming back soon, but now I believe we in the last days, and I believe that he is coming back soon, sooner than we think, but we still don't know the day or the hour, and that's important to remember. So I'm gonna just take y'all through the process that Jesus took me through, and I'm gonna tell y'all why I believe he is coming back. So I was reading Matthew 24. I got an NKJV version. We gonna start from verse 3. Now, as he sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, "Tell us, when will these things be, and what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age?" And Jesus answered and said to them, "Take heed that no one deceives you." I'm gonna go verse by verse and show y'all why I believe that he is coming back soon. So, verse 5, "For many will come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and will deceive many." Have you been seeing people say that they are the Christ and that Jesus is already on earth? Most definitely. Yes. So that already checks off the box. Verse 6, "And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." I'm going to pause right there. Wars and rumors of wars. Come on, bro. All these things we already hearing about it. We've been seeing it for so long. But Jesus says at the end of verse 6, the end is not yet. Verse 7, "For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in various places." So, when I was reading verse 7, I noticed how it said, nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. And I thought to myself, why would Jesus say nation and kingdom if they must be the same thing? They can be, yes. In a sense, they are, but I looked at the Hebrew word for nation, and essentially it means tribes, people, like a people group, a nation. And we see that a lot with racism and just people having a strong sense of nationality, tribe going against tribe, people going against people. It's crazy tension in this world regarding race and ethnicity. Even if Jesus didn't mean that, either way we go, it still makes sense. Countries going against countries, kingdoms against kingdoms, people against people. That checks off the box too. There will be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in various places. Checks off the box. Verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. That's only the beginning. That's only the start. So let's continue. Verse 9. Now this is Jesus speaking to his disciples, to his believers, the disciples that are there, and also us, speaking to us through time while speaking to them in time. Then they will deliver you up to tribulation and kill you, and you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake. All nations, whether it's all people, all tribes, or all countries, it goes with it. It doesn't change either way. Now, for this verse, whenever I read it back then, or even before Jesus woke me up, I looked around in my life and I looked around in America, and yes, Christians are persecuted in a way. We're not being killed for it, I would say, yet. We are oppressed socially, economically. Me personally, in my life, in my walk with Jesus, I haven't been strongly persecuted, I would say. But this is the thing, though, because I feel like, this is just my opinion, I feel like in America, or at least America itself, has this big spiritual wall around it. And so it feels like everything that happens in America stays in America and no one knows. It's kind of like, if you watch Percy Jackson, right, and you remember that casino scene where Percy and his friends was in the casino, they lost track of time, and everything that they was indulging in, they couldn't tell how much time they spent in there. They was just so focused on what went on in the casino and nothing else that happened outside of it. That's what I feel like America is. And so, for me personally, I know that I was ignorant to everything or most things that was going on outside of America, because I was just focused on my life and how I'm gonna do this and do this and do that in America, how I'm gonna get around in this country. But I took a look at Christian persecution outside of America, like actual persecution, actual violence, oppression, and it's crazy. One significant incident that I remember, it was some Christians that were just martyred in Nigeria. I don't remember the head count, but it was men, women, and children. Churches was burnt down. They were slaughtered in the morning, like midnight, while praying. And it's much more like that don't even make the news. And yeah, if it's not happening in America, then we feel like we on solid ground. That's how I felt. But we very wrong. I'm not finna say when that will come to America. I believe eventually it will, because America isn't safe from that. Yeah, verse 10. And then many will be offended, will betray one another, and will hate one another. We know that's a known fact. 11. Then many false prophets will rise up and deceive many. I've seen that. Bro, I seen somebody in the comment section the other day say that Jesus coming back September 26th. Verse 12. And because lawlessness will abound, the love of many will grow cold. But he, 13, but he who endures to the end will be saved, shall be saved. Verse 14 is significant amongst 9876543. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a witness to all the nations, and then the end will come. The end will come after this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a witness to all the nations. Now, I remember people saying this, and I agree with it as well. It's obvious, you know. Back then, or at least, okay, let's go back to, I think it was Acts 1:8 when Jesus said that the gospel will be preached from, don't quote me on this, from Judea, Samaria, and all the ends of the earth. Right now, the gospel is being preached to all the ends of the world. It's already been covered in Judea and Samaria. The Jews know the gospel. Gentiles know the gospel. The whole world has known the gospel. Everybody, I truly believe everybody who's living right now has heard of the name Jesus. If they have not, then they will soon. This is done by word of mouth, by missionaries who go places in person, like those tribes hiding in the jungles and everything. But the main factor of the gospel being spread is technology, internet access, Wi-Fi. It's so easy to spread content and spread the gospel. I could post, even this video right now, I could post this. Somebody in Africa, somebody in Asia could see this just by looking it up. And then they will know the gospel that quick. So this is already happening. And then Jesus says, then the end will come. That's why I believe that the end is really here. And I like to think about it like, when you watching a movie, right? You can tell when the movie's finna be summed up, when it's finna end. You don't say the movie ended or is at its end when the credits start rolling. There's always a third act, and you know when that act is starting. You know when you're in the middle of it. You know when you're watching a movie and the end is there. So in the same way, we can read Matthew 24 and Revelation and look around in the world and know that the end is here based off of what scripture says. And so that's why I believe we're in the end days, we're in the last days. Jesus is coming back soon. About him coming back soon, or what soon is to him and what soon is to us. The only scripture that I can reference to that is a day with the Lord is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years with the Lord is like a day. I might have said that wrong. I might put the verse right there. And just looking at everything in the world, like tying up the way it is, it only seems like we're not in the last days because we're looking at our own lives. We in our own little bubble, and everything just feels all dandy. But if we would just take a step back and look in the world, see what's going on, and read scripture and have a prayer life, and be able to align your spirit with his spirit, with the spirit of God, then you will know. And I feel like this is the Lord waking me up too, because I'm just not realizing how long it's been since I actually been thinking about his second coming and actually trying to, like, consciously thinking about it and not just avoiding it in my head. So I say all this to say that, yes, Jesus is coming back soon. If you do not believe in the gospel right now, if you think you have time to wait, then I don't know what to tell you. It would be wise for you to prepare for a flight, not when the flight is there, when the plane is already there, but let's say a week before, a day before. You don't know when you do know when that flight is arriving, but either way, you still prepare for it ahead of time. So if you know that Jesus is coming back soon, why do you think you have time to wait? Why do you think you could do it next year, 5 years, and you don't even know? It's best to start now. It's best to believe in the gospel now. You keep dabbling in a sin, you will find yourself in a place that you did not expect. It will be the shock of your life. But that's the video. I think I'm gonna start posting more of these. I feel called to do it. I feel led to do it. I feel like I got a lot to say. But yeah, that's raps. That's it.